Hello, grade 7 students. Welcome back to another information technology session. I'm your teacher, Miss Verona James. In today's video lesson, you will be able to trace the historical development of computers and make a comparison between the early processing machines such as the abacus and the Pascaline that were developed many years ago by early computer inventors, and the types of computer systems that we are currently using. You'll also become aware of the evolution of computers and see how modern computers have become smaller and more powerful over time. The abacus, this machine was invented approximately 3000 BC. It was the first mechanical counting device. The beats are slid very quickly as the user counts. It was used to do mainly simple additions and subtractions and could be found in schools, offices, and shops. The Pascaline. This mechanical calculator was the first gear-driven adding machine. It was invented by Blaise Pascal in 1642. It was also called the Pascal's calculator and was used mainly for additions. The automatic loom. This electrical tabulating machine was developed by Herman Holworth in the 1880s. It was used to count the US Census results automatically in 1890. The operators of this machine would punch holes in cards to represent the data from the census. Then this machine would read the holes in the cards and add up the total number of holes in order to get the results. The analytical engine. This machine was invented by Charles Babbage in 1833. It carried out calculations very quickly using stored instructions and could perform all the functions of a modern computer such as processing, storage, input, and output. The Mark I. This machine was invented by Howard E. King in 1939. It was used for fast, accurate computing in the military during World War II. It reads its instruction from punched paper tape. The electronic numerical integrator and calculator, commonly referred to as the ENIAC, was developed by John Marshley and John Eckert in 1946. It was the first electronic programmable computer and used its electrical signals to calculate and store results. The development of computers is further categorized into four phases. One, pre-mechanical phase, which lasted between the years 3000 BC to 1450 AD. Second was the mechanical phase, which lasted between the years 1450 to 1840s. Third was the electromechanical phase, which lasted between the years 1840 to 1940. And finally, the electronic phase. This phase involves the computers that we are presently using and started from approximately 1941. Main points to remember. In 3000 BC, there was the development of the abacus, and it was the first manual calculating machine. In 1642, the first mechanical adding machine was developed by Blaise Pascal. In 1833, the analytical engine was developed by Charles Babbage. In 1896, the automatic loom was developed by Herman Holworth. In 1944, the Mark I was developed and it was the first electromechanical computer. In 1946, the ENIAC was developed and it was the first programmable electronic computer. In 1971, the microprocessor chip was developed. In 1975, the first microprocessor computer, called MIT Altair 8800, was developed. In 1977, the Apple II computer was developed. In 1981, the IBM introduced the first personal computer. In 1982, there was the development of the portable computers. In 1993, there was the development of multimedia desktop computers and digital assistants. In 1994, there was the introduction of wireless data transmission for small and portable computers. The evolution of computers refers to the development of computers over time. Looking at on screen, you'll see where modern computers have become smaller over time, from the size of a room to a palm size. Computers are further categorized into generations. At present, there are 5 generations of computers, namely first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. The time period for the fifth generation of computers was 1945 to 1956. Vacuum tube or valve was the main electronic component. Computers back then were very large, processing was unreliable, and computers used machine language. The time period for the second generation of computers was 1956 to 1963. Transistors was the main electronic component. Computers became smaller, faster, and more reliable. The processing capabilities of computers also increased, and computers used machine language in the second generation. The time period for the third generation of computers was 1964 to 1970. Integrated circuits was now the main electronic component. Computers became smaller, faster, and more reliable. The processing capabilities as well also increased, and computers used high-level language. The time period for the fourth generation of computers is 1971 to present. Reason being, some of the computers that were around in the fourth generation of computers are still being used today. Computers became smaller, faster, and more reliable. The main electronic component was large-scale integration. So they still use integrated circuits, but it was on a larger scale. The processing capabilities of computers in the fourth generation also increased, and computers back then used high-level language such as C and C++. In the fifth generation, computers used integrated circuits also, but on a larger scale. The time period is from present to future. Computers are still being developed today. And so those computers that will come out tomorrow, for example, will still be a part of the fifth generation of computers. Computers became smaller, faster, and more reliable. The processing capabilities of computers still increase, and computers are using natural language for processing. At present, computers are placed into 4 categories based on their physical size, performance, and use. The types of computer systems are microcomputers, minicomputer, mainframe computer, and supercomputer. Tune in to our next session for an overview of the types of computer system.